strong shit, and I love it. You're like, yeah, light on calories. Yeah, helping me look good. Dig that. You know what else? Fucking strong.
2 are gonna knock me on my ass. Yes.
It's basically a rum and coke, but it's beer. And that's just, well, it's not beer. It's seltzer.
Beer.
Excuse me. Yeah, but it's that. Yeah. It's a mixed drink, but it's a seltzer. Love it.
Well, and it's called Base Jam because why?
Oh, yeah. That's because they made their very own, like, seltzer base, right? That they've infused alcohol with. I'm not sure what kind it is.
I never know.
I don't think we read it. I don't have it written down here, but they infuse that then with flavors of your choice that they have also pre-made from largely natural ingredients, right? That's maybe not the reason you choose it, but it's a plus. It's a plus. But they're fucking like, these are the best tasting seltzers I've ever had.
Yeah, they just put like a
Hands
couple
down.
pumps of whatever flavor you want, and I mean they have watermelon and I don't know, a whole bunch of them. I can't
Strawberry,
remember.
mango, watermelon, huckleberry, pineapple, or passion fruit served on the rocks.
And they'll mix them too.
Yeah. You could mix 2 flavors. It's it's so good. You guys, this is it. This is my favorite seltzer. I found it. In my quest to be a true man, to find the, what was it? The, because men don't drink seltzers. No, men will drink this one happily.
At least this man.
This man for fucking sure, yeah. Anyways, I was very happy to tell you all about this little discovery. And we are going to be back right after this. Hey guys, Nate here from All the Things, and I want to talk to you a little bit about 4 Acre Freedom. 4 Acre Freedom is a family-owned and operated one-stop shop for everything that you're probably already looking for. They've got great shirts and hoodies, and don't forget your beer koozies. Those are absolutely essential. We have some actually with the All the Things logo on it, and they look pretty amazing, just saying. They've got custom-made rings and jewelry, which Jade and I also have, and they are awesome. We posted them on Facebook if you guys wanted to get a better look at them. I am sure you're going to want to do that. They can do custom woodwork and signs, like if you want a grace or a quote, they have a thing that'll etch it all out on the wood so you get exactly what you want every single time. They do leather work, like if you want a custom sheath for your knife, do you need a new belt? They can do that too. I mean, you could put those 2 things together and probably make a baldric. Just saying. Sounds like a good idea to me. They also have farm-to-table bread, candies, and confections, which are delicious. I've tried them. I highly recommend. Look, here's the thing. Everything they do is of the best quality, and it's all literally handmade. The value is there. The quality is there. Everything they do is awesome. And you should check them out for yourself. They're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, you can check them out at 4acrefreedom.com. That's high quality, handmade. And we are back. Hey, thanks so much for joining us again. So, once alone, this woman traveler. Should we just get, we can put all of that away, right? This is Anne.
Yeah.
Okay. So once alone, Anne withdraws the block from Nathan's voice and tells him that there had been a note in the journey book. While the outlaws were like fucking with it and trying to see if there was anything written in it.
Yeah,
she had seen a page, yeah. And they're going to look at it once they get to the inn. Why, if you can write in a book in real time and communicate with somebody, like a cell phone, would you choose to not read it until later?
You gotta be safe.
Is it that? Is it we can't do anything about it right now anyways?
There could be spies.
Okay, yeah, I suppose there could be. You can't say that they've had an uneventful day to begin with already, so maybe they're like, you know what, let's just bunker down, get us taken care of for tonight, and then we'll deal with this.
I think that's what the idea is supposed to be, but I also agree with you that the book isn't sealed. It doesn't seem like it's out already. It seems like it would take you 2 seconds to flip to the page and read the 2 sentences that are written there.
Answer your damn text message, dude.
You don't even need to answer it. Like, they aren't gonna know. You can't. You can leave these people on red and they won't know.
Do you think? Yeah, I was gonna say. Do you think the journey book has a
Delivered at 10:44 a.m.
Yeah.
Read at 10:47 a.m.
Opened.
That bitch read my text and never answered. Motherfucker. That would be great. Hey, do you got a charger? I gotta plug my journey book in.
I mean, it has a stylus.
Oh my god, it's an LG too.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Talk about modern. Nice. So Nathan thinks that it has taken Verna fucking long enough. They did everything but put a note on her forehead saying, "Hey, Anne and Nathan are alive. Stupid."
Which is kind of funny, because that's kind of how we felt by the time that she finally figured it out. We were like,
Right.
I think you should have figured it out by now.
Yeah, because Good Kind lets you in a little bit and gives you the hints. You're like, well, obviously it's that. So by the time Verna catches on, you're like, duh, get with the program, man.
And I mean, obviously she did her due diligence by doing all the gravedigger shit. And I mean, they left her a whole bunch of clues. Those were there on purpose. But obviously the intention was, like I said, for her to respond when she read the message. They didn't intend for her to be like, maybe it wasn't somebody I could trust. They intended for her to be like, okay.
No, I'm going to hang out for a month and think about it first. That seems like the right choice. Once there, Nathan spins an interesting tale to the innkeeper. See, he is traveling with his mistress, while his wife is at home with his 12 strapping young boys. I'm a man's man, motherfucker. But it would be safer if the, business end of the trip remained a secret. So
I'm doing some illegal shit.
Yeah, right? And then the guy gives him free fucking beer.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the wrong side of somebody who does illegal shit, right?
Right. Well, I mean, hey, you could, make an advantage out of that situation, eventually, once we're comfortable with each other, what are you bringing into the city?
Yeah.
I have a place where I sell things. Ta-da!
Plus, he seems to be wearing pretty fancy clothes, and everybody in the room is like, hey, look at that guy.
The ruffled shirt is fucking
and
awesome.
Vest.
He's not fucking around.
Mm-mm.
I look good, okay? These boots don't polish themselves. The little tale was a bit of payback, though, for the deaf and dumb shit that Anne had pulled. And since, he's been a prisoner this whole time, so he's just been itching to get back at her, and if this is as bad as that's gonna be, I feel like that's okay.
I mean, she did say she felt bad that it had to be this way, but she also said a little bit earlier in the chapter, we kind of skipped over it, but she was like, well, I wouldn't have to do that if you didn't, start screaming when we got around people and say that I was a witch and that I abducted you. So there is a little bit of risk with allowing Nathan to just run his mouth.
You know what's great? I mean, yes, that's absolutely true. There's a risk in letting him do that. But I feel like Anne made Verna go on this voyage, right, for 20 years, and then she had to deal with Richard of all fucking people and drag him back to the palace kicking and screaming the whole way. That's a very difficult thing to do. And now Anne has to travel with Nathan, who is a very difficult person to deal with, and it's like one and the same. She's having Verna do it because the whole time she had planned to have to kind of do the same thing herself.
Yeah, and I mean, Nathan is out of the palace, so he seems to be obviously in a better mood because he's out of the palace, but he's still prisoner, and his magic is still being choked off as it has been since, presumably, he was 9. He's never been able to just be do what he wants with his shit, which really sucks.
Yeah, he's totally a prisoner. And like you said, he's out of the palace, but he's still, he's not free.
Yeah, Anne is obviously still using him. They are not friends going on a fucking road trip. Okay? She planned this whole bullshit with the death and everything and getting him out, sneaking him out of the palace. And, I mean, he may have been in on it, but he's obviously not necessarily a willing accomplice, or he would have his fucking Radahan off.
He is playing under protest right now.
Yeah.
So Anne opens the book and reads Verna's message. Fucking finally! Happy that she's being cautious, but she can tell that she is pissed.
Yeah, she said, she could tell by her strokes how hard they were.
You check it on, the pages behind the writing, and even though it just magically appeared in the book, you can see, imprints of the pen on the back pages where you crease the page.
Well, and it was another lovely moment with Nathan because Anne was like, she hates me. And Nathan was like, well, I fucking hate you all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't care about that.
Gotta be honest, not a fan.
She was like, you don't hate me, do you? And he was like, eh.
Meh. You entertain me. Let's see where this goes.
Again, prisoner, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't forgotten. Had you forgotten? Yeah, I can't take this off.
Yeah.
I can't just go over there if I want to. So
I know I'm charming and all, but we're not friends. Again, I'm here because you made me be.
and it's interesting to think about how if Nathan had the same motivation as Anne, which is, to save the universe or whatever, then maybe the collar wouldn't really be necessary to have him stick around for this, because it's his ass too, if it all goes bad.
And I think maybe his goal isn't necessarily super unaligned with hers, but we know that the sisters have a history of not trusting wizards to know what's good for themselves and, taking it into their own hands. Even if Nathan is like, no, I'm on your side, I would fucking do this either way, she's like,
They're
yeah,
not going to give him the fucking option.
Yeah. I can't really trust you because you're a dumb wizard or whatever. So I'm going to keep it on.
And that's why I'm mad,
Or
Anne.
you're unpredictable wizard, so you're going to keep it on.
Right. Nathan thinks this plan is fucking madness. But Anne reminds him that, hey, you've worked to push prophecy down a certain fork before. This is not out of your wheelhouse. We can do this. And besides, this is the only fucking plan we have.
Yeah.
So I love how she goes, what would you do, Nathan? What would you do? What would you do differently that would make your plan better than mine? He's like, no, I know this is the only way. But he's still like, your plan is stupid. It's the only one we got, but it's dumb.
Yeah.
But I'm still in.
There was a couple interesting things about that. Number one, I think that she was directly referencing the time that he told the girl, the thing that caused the whole war before, that killed the baby, that would have killed a whole bunch of other people.
Oh, yeah.
That whole thing. And that's, I think, what she was talking about with the fork thing. And I think also Nathan mentions that everything's going on, and so we don't really know exactly what they're doing. But he's mentioning all the prophecy that's happening and swirling around them, and they aren't really sure of what's going to happen. If we know from Warren that there are some specific prophecies that are going on right now that may or may not be true forks. And so, I don't know. It's also interesting that the choice of word to use for the amount of prophecies is Warren. He said something like, there's a Warren of prophecy. And I was like,
Oh, yeah. He said the thing. Of course there is. Oh, you rascal. So Anne finally gets around to writing back to Verna, right? Verna had written in the journey book, hey, tell me why you chose me, word for word, or I'm going to burn this fucking book. And then it's gone. Whatever your plan is, it's done. And Anne immediately goes, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to send her some fucking instructions to return to your little prelate sanctuary when the moon is up. So, very blatant, no, I'm not doing what you want.
Yeah, I'd be fucking pissed. I very specifically told you what to say back to me to make me believe you, and you said the exact, not the exact opposite, but some fucking bullshit about me going out into the moon in the sanctuary. No, fuck you. This is going in the fire.
Even if you didn't throw it in the fire, you just wouldn't respond for a little while first, right? No, you know what? Fuck her. I'm going to give her 3 days. No answer. She'll probably write in it tomorrow did you really burn this? Is this gone? Or maybe one gets destroyed and the other does too. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, you'd fucking make her wait on it.
Or I wouldn't wait till the moon rose. I would go out to the fucking sanctuary. If the whole reason for being in the sanctuary is to keep it secret, keep it safe type shit, then I'd go out there right then and be like, fuck you for still giving me orders. And also fuck you for not responding the way I told you to respond. Maybe you want to have a little meeting and go back and forth, but I asked you very specifically for something and I'm pissed. So, get talking.
So
Book.
Now you get to deal with that.
Yeah. Even if I know you're Anne, I say, Anne, Stop fucking around.
And we're here to do some shit. Nathan doubts Verna, though, and Anne reveals to us that she sent her away for 20 years just so